Well, you saw that patch 7.2 came out, and you're thinking to yourself, man, I didn't do any prep, I don't have any gear set up, I don't even know where to start. I'd love to get into this, but it seems really intimidating, and everybody keeps saying that I have to pentameld gear, and that sounds really expensive. If that sounds like you, then this is the video that you're going to want to watch. With the 7.2 release, we got access to new Scrip gear, and this is going to make it so that you have the ability to catch up to everybody else that has been already sitting in the older gear. The Scrip gear in the game is essentially just a catch-up mechanic that imitates the stats of the crafted gear. You won't be able to get as good of stats as you are able to in the pentamelded crafted set, but you're able to at least get stats that allow you to be able to craft and gather everything in the game. This video is designed for those particular players that are trying to get to the catch-up mechanic. So, I have two gear sets that I'm going to show off for you, one that's for script gathering and one that's for script crafting, and with both of these setups and minimum melding, you'll be able to craft all of the new master recipes that just came out for 7.2 and gather all of the new legendary nodes. My name is Tenelin, and let's get into it. First, there is going to be a link in the description for this Google Sheet that's going to have everything that we're going to be talking about, including the macros. It's going to have links to melds, everything that you're going to need in order to get this done. But I am going to show it off a little bit in the video, and I'll also show off the melds on the Teamcraft melding overlay. I'm going to go ahead and start with the gathering setup because it's a lot simpler, and you are going to need to go gather all of these materials if you're going to want to be able to craft. So, this setup uses all of the existing script gear that you can buy for orange scripts. This is the new 720 item level gear. You are going to want to meld as much perception as can fit into every one of these pieces here, which is 2 on these 3 and only 1 meld in this piece here. For the boots, you're going to put in a couple of GP melds. With the current breakpoints in stats that would get you different boosts to be able to have higher yields with the gathering, it's really not that achievable to hit any of them with the script gear. We're going for the minimum amount and trying to boost your gatherer's boon rate a little bit higher through your perception. Your gathering stat does not matter. You're going to have 100% gathering, so we are really not worried about that. We're just going to skip over putting any gathering melds in. The gear hits it as it is. For your right side, because there is no script gear, we're going to be using all of the 7.0 accessories. These are very easy to make or very cheap to pick up off the market, whatever you prefer. I do have a video guide from early in Dawntrail where if you are in the previous expansion's indicators setup, you can craft these with ease, or you can just grab them off the market board, whatever you do prefer. For the jewelry, you are just going to slot in as much GP in every single slot that you can. You are going to have to overmeld in 2 slots, so it might cost a little bit just to put these in, but I'm using the grasp materia level 9s, which should be a lot cheaper. Or if you have a bunch of Island Sanctuary currency, you can actually purchase these at your Island Sanctuary with that. That'll save you a lot of time and money. You are going to want to use the high quality stuffed peppers food. This is just because it'll push you over the 960 GP, which will give you the ability to get a +2 integrity on some of your nodes just to get a couple extra gathers out of them, and it'll push your perception up a little bit higher so that you can get a little bit higher on that gatherer's boon percentage just to help you get that occasional lucky gather. And this is pretty easy to set up, not that many materia that you're going to need overall. You can actually see the list here of exactly how many you're going to need. Once you've got that set up, you can go ahead and get to gathering the new items, which you can find the alarm list for all of the new legendary nodes here on this sheet as well, or in the description. These are going to be time-locked nodes where one of these is up every 5 minutes and you're able to gather them a single time. So just go down the list, gather each of these items, and you'll be good to go. Next, let's talk about the crafting setup for all of your melds here. Again, we're going to be using the level 720 script gear that just came out. Now this one is going to require you to do a little bit more overmelding. Every single piece of your jewelry is going to have 3 materia. This is just because the stat requirements for crafting the master recipe gear, especially the 35 durability piece, is just a lot harder, but we are essentially just hitting the bare minimum requirements to be able to craft this stuff. I will repeat, any of the level 9, I would recommend getting these from Island Sanctuary if you have any currency. try to save as much gil as you can, because these are probably going to cost a little bit, as they are in the 3rd materia slot. So they're going to have a lower success rate of only 10%. This is what your stats should look like before you use any food with these. So let's go ahead and take a look at the macros that we're going to be using. So now back in the sheet, you're going to go down to the legendary plus tome mat craft tab that I've got down here, and you'll see this has got a lot of extra information that I have kept from my original video, but it essentially just breaks down all of the new items, all of the new legendary mats that you can gather, and all of the crafts that they make. These are what this page is going to be crafting here for the 35 durability master recipes, on top of any of the grade 3 gem saps that you're going to need for the actual gear crafts. Now again, you'll notice this is the stats that you should have if you followed that meld guide exactly, so just double check those before you get into anything. You're also going to need to eat Ronique Steak high quality and the Cunning Craftsman Tisane high quality. This will just push your stats to the minimum levels that we need and give you a bunch more CP in order to actually use this macro. Again, these stats are before you eat the food. This is the macro that you're going to use here. Here's your first one and your second one. And this will give you the ability to make these 35 durability recipes at high quality 100% of the time. For demonstration purposes, I've gone ahead and put that into the Teamcraft crafting simulator. You can see your stats are here with the food that is recommended, and this is the exact same rotation that you're going to use. It has 100% reliability, and your average high quality will always be 100%. It is a lot longer than a normal macro. It is 29 steps, but that is just what happens when you're using lower stats. Next, I have the page that is just for the 70 durability 3-star master recipes. This one, again, the exact same stats, the exact same food. The only difference is you will need every single ingredient that you're using to be high quality for this. The macro is here. It is, again, a 2-button macro, and I'll pull it up in Teamcraft here for you to take a look. So as you can see, same thing here. As long as you have all high quality ingredients, you're using the same food, it's got the 100% reliability, and your average high quality will be 100%. I'll also put a link to this rotation in that spreadsheet for you to take a look at as well. And finally, on the last tab, the lower level macros, it just has a level 97/98 high quality ingredient craft. Same stats, it's just a quick little macro in case you need to make things like the Levin Silk into the Thunderyark Silk or the Rick Hasner ingots and things like that. I know this video might be a little rushed, and I'm not really sure exactly what I should be explaining in this. I just wanted to be able to give out a resource to players that are struggling to figure out if they should be pentamelding new gear or getting the script. This video just kind of covers very quickly, demonstrating that you are actually able to do everything with the script gear. I hope that you found it at least a little helpful. If you did, please give it a like. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos, especially regarding crafting and gathering in Dawntrail.